We are, we are continuing our first UI class. Yeah, this is a demo on UI programming. I'll show you here what all topics comes under UI and what all we have. I'll show you. Web UI programming. UI means here it is a user interface. This is the first demo on user interface. It is a UI programming. In this UI programming, I'm going to learn HTML 4 and 5. Second topic here it is CSS 2 and 3. Third topic is on JavaScript. Here, fourth one here it is on jQuery. Here, fifth one here it is on Ajax. Sixth one on responsive design. Then seventh one will be here Bootstrap. Here, eighth one will be here lessons as programming. Lessons as programming. Then ninth one will be here project. 10th one will be here exam. So this project and exam I'll continue on Saturday sessions. Total duration of my content will be next 2 months. Next 2 months I'm going to continue on all these topics. UI means user interface. In this user interface, here we are going to see what all topics comes under this, and here what is the advantage of this and where we use it in the real time. Those all you can understand in this. Okay. Here UI means when you enter any URL in the browser. Here, suppose if you enter any URL here, if you enter any URL in the browser, that URL, whatever you are entering here, that is what one user interface. Suppose if you enter http://www.facebook.com. Here you are entering here one facebook.com. This is one UI page. This is one UI page. This UI page is interacting with a server page. This server will interact with database. This is what here 3-tier architecture. This is what completely we call it as 3-tier architecture. Here UI means it is a user interface. Here UI means it should be a user interface. Here whenever you enter any URL in the browser, whatever application you can see, that is what UI. This UI always connect with the server page. Server will connect to database. Database will connect to here back to the server. Server will give you resultant page for us. This total architecture is a MVC architecture. Model View Controller Architecture. MVC. So just if I search for that, see here. See, if I search for facebook.com, whatever application you can see here, this is what one UI. If you enter your email address and password, if you click submit button, you can redirect your application form to server. You can redirect your application form to server. That server is here. PHP, Java, .NET, Python, all comes under server programs. Here, this UI page always connected to server, server connected to database. So this is totally MVC architecture, Model View Controller Architecture. Here, Model View Controller Architecture, generally we will follow to design our output. Here, we will enter our email address and password. Once I click submit button, my data will be redirected to server. Here, email address, password, whatever I'm entering here, these two details will connect to server program. Server, what it will do here, the server always connected to database. So whatever email address password you have entered here, this email address password has to be submitted to the database. So they to check your details. Is it your email address and password is correct or not? We can check it by this UI page. Here, Facebook login page I'm creating here. In this, once you enter your email address, password, once you click submit button, your data will be submitted to server. That server page here, maybe Java, .NET, Python, any server page you can use. And this UI page, whenever we enter our details here, that will be submitted to server. Here in this UI page, Facebook page or a Twitter page, whatever you will see here, after entering your details, it has to submit it to the server. See, in this URL, you can understand here, UI is connecting with server programming. That server by this URL, you can understand here, this is one PHP programming. Here our UI page is connecting here PHP programming here. UI page is connecting with the PHP programming. In this URL, see this is one URL. Our UI programming is connecting, server programming is a PHP. PHP programming is connecting to database. Okay. Here this is what one UI interaction. Here I'll show you one more UI page here. Suppose if you check Oracle create account. In this time, see here JSP. Control C copy. Here, this is one URL. It is connecting with the JSP page. Here, UI is connecting with the JSP. Here, that is what Java page. Java is connecting with the database. This type of interactions, we can call it as our UI pages. Here, UI page is connecting with the Java. Java connected to database. Database back to Java. Java will give you resultant page for our application. This is what completely MVC architecture. Model view controller architecture generally we will follow to design our output. Okay, UI connecting to Java, Java connecting to database, database back to Java, Java will give you resultant page for us. This is totally MVC architecture. In this MVC architecture, here UI page always interact with the server page, server will interact with database. Here, this UI page, whatever you can see here, that UI page is interacting with the server page, that is what Java. Here, that is JSP, Java server page. JSP means here it is Java server page. Okay. By these two URLs, you can understand front end is common, server programmings are different to run our business logic. And databases also, maybe Java, maybe Python, maybe .NET, any server programming you can use it. UI connecting to PHP, PHP connecting to database. One second. Here, so every URL you will be common. So always front end will be common to develop our application. Here UI connecting to server, so connecting to database. This type of interactions you can observe here in UI programming. In this UI programming, so front end is common for every application. Front end is common for every application. Front end is common. Server page may be different. Here databases may be different. But if you want to use your server page as here in the front end programming, if you want to use your server programming as a PHP programming or a Java programming or a .NET programming, so everywhere in front end server side, everywhere you are looking for framework. Who know framework, they will get more opportunities. Front end side frameworks are Angular, React, Node, those are frameworks. Server side frameworks are here. That server side programming are here, PHP, Java, Python. Java side framework here, Spring, Spring Boot, Hibernate, and PHP side Levels and framework, Cake PHP and all. And .NET framework we have, and Python related framework we have. So in this MVC architecture, server programs are different. The server is completely server type. Here server programs we connected here. The server programs are here, PHP, Java, Python, any server. Here this is what MVC architecture. Model 3-tier architecture. Here model view controller architecture. Model view controller. This model part is our UI programming. Here view part is our model part is by server programming. Here server programming. View part is by our UI programming. Controller part is also by server programming. Like we have. So in this MVC architecture, model controller architecture, we are following here MVC, that model view controller architecture. Under this, here model part is server, controller part is server, view part is our UI program. UI programming will use it as our view part. Here we are following MVC architecture. In this model view controller architecture, we are following this type of output. Here we are learning here model view controller architecture. In this time, that model part and the controller part here is by server programs. Model part and the controller part is by server programs. Here, as of now, we are in front end. In this JavaScript related frameworks we have, that is Angular, React. If you complete along with all topics, if you complete any framework, then you can be a framework level developer. You can be a framework level developer after completion of these all with one framework. If you complete any one framework, with that only you will be a framework level developer. Okay. Here we are learning UI programming. UI means user interface. In this user interface, here in this UI programming, whenever we here we write our program, that always interact this type of interaction. Here, see, as of now, show you what all the websites are using three different architectures of server programs. Here we are in user password and email address. We'll fill all this application form. After filling this complete application form, here after clicking on submit button, our data will submit to server. Our data will be submitted to server. So this type of interactions you can observe here in our UI programming. In our UI programming, so this type of interactions you can observe. Here UI means user interface. This user interface will interact with different server programs. That server programs are here, email address, password, like that. We have all our input fields. These all input fields we will write it by our UI program. Here, these all will write it by our UI program. So now I'll show you right click inspect element on this. Right click inspect element on this. Now you can see that here when you right click inspect element, you can see some code here. See doc type, HTML, head and body, some code you can see here. This code here you can see here doc type, HTML, head and body is the standard code here. So now if I remove the body tag, delete. See, if I remove the body tag, you cannot see any output here. If I remove the body tag, you cannot see any output here. Once I refresh, you will get the output for your application. Here, once you refresh here, you can see that output for your application. Suppose if you remove the body tag, head tag here, just I removed the head tag. If I remove the body tag for this application, you cannot see any content here. If I remove the head tag for this, it is showing here, that content, whatever it is showing here. If I remove the head tag, you cannot see any proper alignment for this. You cannot see any proper alignment. So this is what here our UI. In this UI programming, UI means user interface. In this user interface, how display output, you can check. Here is the UI programming. In this UI programming, how the front end will be connected to server, you can check it here. Here you can see that standard code is type HTML head and body. Here, if I remove the head section, you cannot see any output for this. If I remove the body section, here, if I remove the body section for this, here head section, if I remove here, you can see. If I remove body section, you cannot see content here. Suppose remove, delete the tag. Here you cannot see any of it. Here, once you refresh, all will back. Here now you can find it here. This is what head and this is what body. See, now you can find it here, head and body for our application. Here head tag is mainly used to write header information. Body tag is used to write body part application. Here now remove head section, you cannot see any proper alignment of this. If you remove the body section, you cannot see any content. Okay, so this is the way you can see your. Here we are able to see that output will be like this. Yeah. In this time, so if you remove the head section, you cannot see any proper alignment. If you remove the body section, you cannot see any content here. So by this bottom line here in our UI programming, come to our UI that for every page, standard code will be here, doc type, HTML, HTML start and close. Under this, you can write it here, head to start and close and body tag. Here, head body tag and purpose. Head tag is used to add header information. Body tag is used to write body part of our application. Here, head and body tag you can show for your program. Head tag is used to write header information. Here head tag is used to write header information. Here it is header. And body tag is used to write body part of application. Here this is what here body part of our application. This is what the body part of application. Okay, so now header information, head and body you can show our application like this. Here header information, body tag. Inside the header generally we'll write CSS or JavaScript code here. Inside the body you can see that here all HTML tags. All HTML tags we will write it here under this body. Under this body only we will write it here all our HTML. Here we are in here head and body tag, head and JavaScript code. HTML tags we are using here to write our HTML information. Here UI programming here user interface. In this header information we are writing all my content like this. Next, here we are going for the next one here. Here in this time header information we are writing like this. So now in this time I'm explaining here HTML tags. Here HTML is our first topic. HTML. Here HTML is a hypertext markup language. It's a hypertext markup language. Here markup means here it is a tag based programming. Tag based programming. Here itself tag is nothing but it's an instruction to browser. Here itself instruction to the browser. Here instructions are here. Whatever content you want to write, that will have to write in form of instruction. Here tag based programming. Instruction here is a tag based programming and here instruction to browser. So these tags are here. We have two types of tags. One is paired tag, another one unpaired tag. Itself paired tag. Second one here it is unpaired tag. Here paired tags and unpaired tags are explaining here under HTML. Basically HTML is a markup language. It is mainly for creating part of the application. In this time HTML is mainly for it's a hypertext markup language. It is completely tag based programming. Tag is instruction to the browser. We can give all our instructions to the browser in the text. Here I'm explaining here HTML is a hypertext markup language. Here it is a tag based programming. Here it is basically creates skeleton part of web page. Basically because of this HTML we can create a skeleton part of page. Skeleton of page we can design it by this HTML hypertext markup language, completely tag based programming. Tag is nothing but its instruction to browser. We give all instructions to browser. Here tags are here two tags, paired tags and unpaired tags. The two HTML application we will look at this. Here skeleton of the web page. HTML. All buttons, radio buttons, text boxes, everything connected with this HTML. Next, here take CSS. CSS 2 and 3 topics I'm going to explain here. In the CSS second topic, today what I'll do here, what all is UI we discussed here, and where is it in the real time. Here, we use this UI in the real time we discussed, and then after this, I'm explaining the introduction. HTML is a hypertext markup language. It is completely a tag-based program. Yeah, it's instruction to browser. We can give all our instructions to the browser in form. Here, these tags are here, paired tags and unpaired tags. That's all we have the list of all paired tags and unpaired tags. Here, second one, I'm going for second topic here, is CSS. CS code, we'll write it here. Here it is CSS. Here, we are writing here HTML and the CSS. CSS, it is creating here content part of our application. Here, the content of the application, the alignment of the application, and with this is here. CSS gives you alignment for our application. CSS here it is, and instructive, aesthetic, style sheet. It will create style part of the web page. Style part of the web page we can create with this. Style here it is borders, text related styles, text align, text decoration, text related styles, font related styles, font size, font family, and all here, etc. etc. We will limit under this CSS. Under this CSS only, we have CSS related topics. CSS here is cascading style sheet. We use it to write style part of the application. Next one here, JavaScript. See, if you check here, colorful application. Here, this is what your colorful application. See, now I'll remove this head. There is no color, just one skeleton. This is only HTML. Only HTML. See, once I press back. Here, if I remove the color or any background color or a border color, anything, if you want to change it, see this button color, I want to change it here. Here, button color, I want to change it here. Right click, inspect element on the button. Here, you can see that this half code is HTML, this half is CSS. That color of the button where we are applying here, if you check it, see the background color, wherever it will apply, you can change it. Here, the background color is applying for this button. So that one you can change it here with this. Here only you can check it here. See, this is my button color. Here, right click, inspect element on this. This is one TD. Here one div. For this div tag, border, background color. Here you can see that here this is one div tag. If you open here, if you open it here only, you can see one anchor tag. For this anchor tag, somewhere we are applying background color. Here, this is only the background color. Somewhere we are applying one background image also. Here, this is one background color. If you want to change it, you can change. Here itself, font color. Here, not only background color, border, font color, anything you can change it. Here for this, if I want to change the background color, here red, green, blue, anything you can apply. Here, this will apply for the div tag. On the top of it, we have anchor tag. Under this anchor tag, you can find it here. Span is the next anchor tag. Background color is this one. See, can you see that change here? Here, this type of change is because of here anchor tag is showing here a different color. This color effect is because of CSS. This color effect is CSS. Here, I'm writing HTML, then CSS. Next one here itself, JavaScript. Here, JavaScript add functionality to our application. Here, JavaScript, it will add it here, functionality to our web page. Functionality of web page, we can create it. We can add functionality. See, up to now, skeleton part is by HTML, alignment part is by CSS. Here, now it is JavaScript. JavaScript is functionality to our application. Here, see, this time, if you submit it, you will get immediately error messages. These error messages are because of JavaScript. Here, you can see here that email address, password, confirm password, whatever I'm showing here, these all error messages it is showing here. This error message is because of JavaScript. Because of JavaScript, I'm getting this type of error messages. Here, this type of output I can create it because of JavaScript. Here, email address, at least one number, at least one letter, that type of output. And here, minimum 5 characters, maximum some characters, that type of output. These all we can create it with our UI, with our JavaScript. So functionality to our application, we can add it through JavaScript. Here, JavaScript for our application, we can create it like this. Next one, here, JavaScript is not only for validation. Here it is validations, not only validation, you can create cookie, you can write local storages. Here, session storages. Here, animations. Here, etc. We will learn it with this JavaScript. With this JavaScript only, you will learn it here. All validation of the application form, total development of the application, we can do it with this JavaScript. Okay. Because of JavaScript, we can add validation to our application form. All these things we can create it because of JavaScript. HTML, it is basically skeleton part of the web page. CSS, it gives alignment for our application. JavaScript is adding functionality to our application. Here, this is the way we will learn one by one all the topics. And everyday class recordings, I'll upload it in one Gmail drive. I'll create one Gmail drive for your batch. And I'll upload day-wise recordings. All recordings, I'll upload it in the drive. In that drive only, I'll upload paint files, programs, documents. See here, you can see that here, recordings, programs, see all the topics related programs, I'll upload there topic wise separately. Paint file, currently what I'm explaining in the paint window, the date wise I'll save it and I'll share it in the paint folder. Next, weekend test. So one weekend, one topic, one weekend, one topic. Like that, every weekend I'll conduct one test. HTML4 exam, CSS2 exam, JavaScript exam. Like that, I'll conduct separately all the exams. Okay. Here, CSS, it will add it here, functionality to our application. Here, JavaScript, it will add it here, functionality. CSS gives you alignment. HTML, it will give you the basic skeleton part of the web page. Basic skeleton part of the web page is by HTML. CSS is adding functionality. Here CSS is adding style part of the application. JavaScript is adding functionality to our application. Total functionality of a web page, we can create it with this JavaScript. So this way, you will learn it here always. Here, this way only you can learn it here. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, all you can use it like this. Okay, so up now, today we discussed here what is UI and what all the three topics basically I explained, and every topic related to exam and every topic related project. So once two topics completed, I'll start project. So on alternate weekend, I'll continue with the project session. Piecewise, we'll develop one application and okay, every weekend we'll go for the projects. Yeah. So up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask us. Any doubts? Samiksha, Prasad, Bharat. Any doubts?
No doubt, these recording sessions will be of how many durations? Means what will the is there any validity or it is
Then 1 year
lifetime?
will be with you. The Gmail drive will be with you more than 1 year.
Okay then. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other doubts? Yes. Samiksha, Bharat, any doubts? Bharat, no. Fine. No, Samiksha. Okay. Thank you, Bharat. Thank you, Samiksha. Thank you, Prasad. We'll meet tomorrow for the continuation of demo. Thank you. Yes. Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Here we are in this UI programming. We are learning here. Here we are learning here UI programming under this UI. Here.
Yes.
Yes. Here we are in UI. In this UI, here we are going to learn that list of all topics are here. Here, right. Here, list of all topics what we are learning here in this UI programming. I'll show you here in web UI programming. UI means it is a user interface. Here, user interface. To create this user interactive page, we have to learn that list of all topics are here. Here one is HTML 4 and 5. Second, CSS 2 and 3. Third, it is on JavaScript. Here, fourth one, here it is. Here, fourth one, here it is. Here, fourth one here. 1 second. Here, we are going to see that list of all topics are here. HTML 4 and 5, CSS 2 and 3, jQuery, JavaScript and jQuery. Then fifth one here it is Ajax. Here sixth one responsive design. Here seventh one will be here Bootstrap. Eighth one will be here less and SAS programming. Here ninth one here it is project. 10th one here it is exam. So those totally I'm going to cover this list of all topics all are like this, and duration of my content will be here 2 months. Next 2 months here, next 2 months we are going to learn these all topics all are like this. Now here you can see that here UI means whenever you enter any URL in the browser, whatever application you can see, that is what UI. Here once you enter your here here, whenever you enter any URL in the browser, whatever application you can see, that is what UI. Here, that UI page always connected to server, server connected to database. Here, once I enter any URL, so www.google.com, you can see here that Google homepage here, Google and one search option. Here, search option, you can find it. Once you click on this search option, your data will be redirected to server. Here, once you click on this search option here, search option here, your data will be redirected to server. Server always connected to database. This type of interactions you can observe here in every UI programming. It is going to the server, server connecting to database, database back to server. Server will give you resultant page for us. This resultant page is our UI page. Here, this resultant page is our UI page. We are learning here UI programming, and this is what here server. This server is connecting to database. Here servers are here. Here PHP server, Java server, .NET server, here Python server, here etc. all comes under server programs. Databases are here. Oracle database, MySQL database, SQL server database, MongoDB, all comes under databases. Here, these all etc. all comes under databases. Now you can find it here etc. all databases. Here, this is our UI page connecting to server, server connecting to database, database back to server. Server will give you a resultant page for us. This is also one UI page. Starting page is a UI page and resultant page is also a UI page. You can find it here, all the list of links, link 1, link 2, link 3, all the list of links, you will get it for our program. This is what one UI. Here, this UI page is connecting to server, server connected to database, database back to server. Server will give you UI page for us. This UI is our user interface. This UI, we call it as user interface. In this user interface, you can find it here. See that UI, whatever page you are getting here, this UI page will connect to server, server connected to database. This is totally MVC architecture. Here. page of the server page, and it will connect to model page. Model page, it will apply the business logic and connect it to database. Okay, so this is the pattern we will follow for every website. Present days, we are using everything in the form of website to pay the current bill, to land registrations, everything. It is in the software model. So we are not going with any type of going into the that office and make a line and queue and paying the amount and getting the information. We are not doing in that way. Reservation of a booking, tickets, everything we are doing in the form of in the websites only. So here, this website development, here front end is common. For every website development, front end will be common here. Front end here, so whatever application you are developing here, so that is what here, front end, starting page of the application. Here, if you right click inspect element on any application, zoom.com, facebook.com, or any application, you can see right click inspect element. Here, now you can find it here. This is what here total content. In this, you can find it here. Doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of our application. Here, doc type HTML and body is the generally our content. See, if I remove the body tag, just to delete the element. If I remove the body tag, you cannot see any output here. So once I refresh, everything will be here. Now you can find it here. Now you can find it here. Type HTML head and body is the standard HTML. In this head tag and body tag, we are in here to design our output. Head is used to write header information. Body is used to write body of our application. Here, doc type HTML and body is the standard of HTML. Now you can find it here. Here, if you remove the head section, you cannot see any proper alignment for this content. If you remove the body section, you cannot see any. So standard web page, any Facebook or any web page, if you check it, so that standard code will be here. Type HTML start and close. Here, head start and close, body start and close. Head and body tag, you can see. Inside this head section, we can write here script tag to write the JavaScript code, and we use it here to write the CSS. CSS code write here with this. CSS code will write a style tag. Script tag we use it here to write the JavaScript code. So in HTML application, we generally write a doc type HTML head and body. Head and body. Inside this, here, doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of HTML. Under this, here head tag is used to write and JavaScript. Body tag is used to write body part of our application. Now you can find it here. Inside the head section, we are writing that complete alignment, and inside the body, we are writing here completely HTML tags. Basic skeleton of the web page we are learning here. This is HTML tags. We'll learn it here. HTML here it is a hypertext markup language. Markup means here is a tag based programming. Here tag is nothing but it's an instruction to browser. We can give our instructions to the browser in the form of tags. Here the tags are here. So this in the form of tags only we will give our instructions. In the tags only write it here, just buttons, radio buttons, text box, password box. Here I will write it the skeleton of the web page. So yeah, basic skeleton part of it we can create the HTML. Because of this HTML only, we can create a basic skeleton part of our page. See, second topic over here it is CSS. Here, first topic over here HTML. With that, we can create a basic skeleton part of the web page. Next, because of CSS, we can create alignment of the page. Here, CSS here is cascading style sheet. Here itself, cascading style sheet. Create a style part of we can create a CSS style. Here it is alignment of the page. We can create it using complete alignment of application. Right, complete alignment of the page. We can create it with this alignment of the page. We can create this. Here, only alignment. We can also write background colors, borders, text alignment, text decoration, related styles, and graphics. All will write it with CSS. Because of this CS only, we can complete alignment of our application. Next one, get JavaScript. Because of JavaScript, here is JavaScript. JavaScript is a client-side scripting language. Here is a client-side script language. Here it is a browser executable programming. It's a client script language. It's a browser executable programming. Here, browser executable programming. Here, you validation of application form. Here, validation of the application form. Here, validation of the application form. We can create it with this. Here, complete validations. Suppose if you submit any application form without data, if you submit any application form, here you will get immediately error message. Or with improper data, if you submit it, you will get error message. So the type error messages, whatever you are getting here, that is my JavaScript. Because of JavaScript, we are adding here complete validation of the application. Here, next one, here complete validation of the application form we can create it with. Here validations are clear. Next one, validation of the application form we can do it with this JavaScript. Next one here is jQuery. Here we do validation of validation. We can create keys, we can create local storage, session storage, here animations, here like etc. All functionality part. Functioning part of the web page we can do it with this JavaScript. So everything is connected with the here everything is connected with the text file. Here I'm able to create a text file here because of the text file I can able to create this. Sorry, because of this HTML issue, I can create my output. All HTML output and write it. Yes. And next one, all HTML tags out, we can write like this. It is HTML, CSS, Java. Java is functionality to our application. Here, because of this Java, adding functionality to our application. And next time, before functionality of a web page is by JavaScript. Here, we learn this here, we learn this HTML, this website, this buttons, this password, email address, and this entire line, background color, this color, one color, button color, all these. Next, if you are submitting, you are getting validation message. So, functioning part of the page is by JavaScript. So functionality of web page is because functioning of a web page we can create this JavaScript. Next one, here jQuery. jQuery is our tutorial. Here jQuery is an external library of JavaScript. Here jQuery is nothing but external library of JavaScript. Here jQuery is an external library of JavaScript. JavaScript external library only what is jQuery. So you can download jQuery 1.1.js. You can download jQuery.js. You can download jQuery. Here, like this, we have some external libraries that we can execute. Here, we are external libraries with that we can easily execute our output. Yeah, I'm filling in today and on the pattern code, I'll explain the project. I'll get into PHP code as a subcode. MySQL as the database. I'll develop application. Weekend is Saturdays and doing projects. I was at a project once at exam. Like I'll continue this. Today and yesterday I'm doing as what all written we have. Introduction you are done. But you are yesterday. Now I'm continuing on fourth topic introduction. Each topic and topic related here. So these all topics, each topic and topic related one real-time example explain to you. Here, each topic and topic related one real-time will explain to you. So I can't even follow me. You can understand my secrets. Yeah, broad event to cover. You may do a session, but I have till now. Till revise. What are the 3 topics we have? And yeah, what I cover, how that is what's left to. Now it is jQuery. Today's session. Today I'll continue the remaining all topics introduction. Remaining all topics introduction, and after here introduction I'll give you, and this how you will get my note, and also I'll explain how recordings you will get, how notes you will get. So I'll explain, and after this I'll start here and say 30 to 90 continue every day. So next 2 months I'm going to continue all, and Monday Saturday sessions. Saturday is 1 Saturday project, 1 Saturday exam. Like that I'll continue. 1 Saturday project, 1 Saturday. Like that I'll continue all. Okay. Here you can see the UI programming. This here HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay, the external level of JavaScript is. Okay, so next one here is jQuery. What can I do? So each example I show. Here if you check it here, jQuery validation.js. Because validation.js, you can show validation of the application form. Validations here. If your username must be some numbers, here some special letters, some alphabet, something we want to allow there. So that type of input, whatever input you are accepting related, we will write is input related validation. Here input related validation will write it with the JavaScript. Here jQuery is mainly validation of the application form. The validation will write it with this jQuery. Here username at least one number, so you will get that error message. Here once I fill error gone. Here I start telling that invalid email address. Until I get a valid address anywhere. See here is no error. Here this time output here is my email address. URL also something URL. If I click enter value URL. See, until you enter this format of email URL, then it will give you. So once you enter address, here www error one. So validation. So you will enter jQuery. JavaScript same thing you do by jQuery, but use the jQuery ready-made files to use it. So really you can develop your app. If you go for jQuery, jQuery draggable, selectable, all types of access created. See here, drag. I can drag to any player. See like this. I can drag to here. So this type of effect is drag effect. This is what here drag effect for a player. The next one here, droppable. Drag and drop. This is droppable effect. Here, resizable. See here, this is resizable effect. Here it's resize. then selectable. Here selectable. See, I can select a list of all topics like this. What here selectable. Here selectable. You can select any number of items. This is what here selectable. Then what here? See, you can start to place it here like this. This is what's all good. Like this, you can here external with that only we are going to select some you can create from here. Next topic here adjuncts. Adjuncts means here it is asynchronous topic related one example you have here. Topic related definition and related introduction brief information example. You have to check it here. Here is asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Here it is asynchronous JavaScript and it is adjuncts. Here client will send the request to the server has to give their this about how we create that to understand under this server architecture. Here sending the request to the server has to give their response to client. This times are architecture. Here request will go here. Request. Here it is request and response. So client is sending the request to server. Server has to give the response. In this client server architecture, client is sending the request to server. Server has to give their response. In this client server architecture, so whenever client is sending the request to server, server has to give their response without redirection, without refreshment. Here, without redirection or without refreshment. Here, without refreshment. Without redirection, you will get output for our application. This is possible by here, without redirection and without refresh. Here, without redirection, without refreshment, you get here. If you get the output for your application is what here? Adjuncts. See here, if I show banking application, Union Bank is one account. Here, you can find it here, this Union Bank account. You submit your application form here. See, here, not submission. Here you will get one QR. So once you click on that, see, this is one ask QR. Here, one query. Here, if you enter in here, see, if I click English, see, it is English. Here, now once you click on this digital banking, see digital information. Once I click on internet banking information. Here, here now you can find, see, suppose if you check this one, here, if you check this one here, see here. Here, now you can click on one of the bar here, see here, one, click on any of the account here, term deposits.
मैम साउंड ब्रेक होता है.
Click on any other application menu here. Now if you here, you are redirecting. This is not synchronous. But if you click on that Union Bank chatting window, whatever it is showing here, that is what adjuncts. This menu bar is a synchronous process. This menu bar is a synchronous. If you click on this link, directing, this is synchronous. But here, if you click on a chatting window, it's asynchronous. Chatting window, without refreshment, you will get out. See, once you click here, this is what? Here. Once you click here, you will get output for this. Here is here, go back to menu. Here, like this, you will get all your output. Here, live chat. Here it is giving like this. It is giving all related information. Related informations without reaction and with refreshment, you are getting this type of photo. This is followed by adjuncts. This chatting is comes under adjuncts. This menu bar is comes under synchronous call. Synchronous here. Synchronous means without redirection, without refreshment. Asynchronous means here. Synchronous means redirection, refreshment. Asynchronous without redirection and refreshment. Here, chatting window is the best example for this. Chatting window is the best example for this. Next one. Yeah, sorry. Here, Bootstrap and response design. Here, response design and licenses. Here, Bootstrap is a ready-made architecture. It's a framework. It's a framework of HTML, CSS, JavaScript. HTML, CSS, JavaScript framework only we call it as Bootstrap. is for HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Next means here how to develop your application, mobile phone, tablet, desktop. Different resolution, how to show your output and your design. So design here how to develop our application for responsive application for devices. In future, any other device comes in that device, how to develop application that you will understand under this responsive design time. You will understand how to develop our application for different devices. That Facebook you can see in device, you can see in website, Facebook you can see in the tablet, mobile app, desktop. So that how you are adjusting your content that comes under responsive design according to the view, according to the screen size, you are aligning that comes under responsive design. Next one here lessons just is a superset of features. Here sense as is a superset of features. Here's a superset of call it as lessons as. It is a superset of yes. Here's only but something extra in this linear style sheet class. Typically also style sheet is SAS. So you understand here how this SAS work in the program. Yeah, how can we design our output for our application for less programming for SAS programming that will understand from my classes. Yeah, less programming linear style sheet, program simply on style sheet. Clear? Is it clear? Any doubt in this? So totally just basic introduction to this. Up to now any doubts? All three students. I don't know. Rohini, any question? Able to find Rohini?
Yeah, madam. This is my first session.
Yes. Are you able to follow my class? I can.
Yeah, I am able to follow it. Yeah.
Able to continue?
No, basically, I'm from a programming background, but I'm here with a little bit of so I am following most of the things what you are doing.
Perfect. Thank you.
But I am interested in this.
Yeah, what is required? Yeah.
But what is the difference is digital HTML and the new bit?
Angular React are here. JavaScript related top level development is a framework. This is UI because after this you have to go over any Angular courses. This
This
here
is
is a front end. Here, every side developers own frameworks. Java side, Java frameworks they are required. So every company is asking for framework. Here one side Spring Boot, Hibernate services, microservices are frameworks. Then PHP side, Zend, Laravel like that. .NET side, .NET related framework, Python side related frameworks we have. And every class you read tonight, I'll share one other access to you. I'll upload the class recordings. So this will be available next 1.5 year. It will be available. Once you get some access, you can see my so every weekend I'll test. So weekend especially and answer sheets you can clear. Next recordings, every recording I'll be here. So next 2 months I'll continue on these recordings. Next one here, paint file, I will paint file here. Here totally all paint files, I will define what the externally I'm doing. All I'll write in file, I'll upload it, that paint file, paint location. Next documents, here it document upload here in the docs file. This is totally all my content. Here recordings, programs, paint file, documents, and we can test. So like this, I'll continue all my topics. All my topics I'll continue. Okay. Here this one I'll continue all my topics and my content. Here this one only I'll about my project. This is about UI addiction. I will get my notes with the time and I will maintain communication with the mailers. Durga's have to mail address, but I use it. Not mail address, I'll use it for my application development. Okay. And if you have any questions, anything you can yeah, you mail to me this address so that I can communicate with you wherever you stand. If you need, I'll explain to you in the next session. Okay. So that communication I'll make with the students, and you have to learn this list of all topic ones. Saturday's session, one Saturday project, one Saturday. Like this, I'll continue my syllabus. Yeah, this way generally I get with the students. This way I'll share my documents. Today and yesterday we continued as demos. Tomorrow will be regular session. Any doubts? Yes, any doubts? Up to now, any doubts? Samiksha, Rohini,
No,
Darshana.
no. But is it possible to learn all things, efficiently in 2 months?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, even if you practice along with my classes, that is sufficient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So please respond to Durga's call. So most of them are not getting the call after attending the class. For feedback, say call you. And chat window mentioned all the information. So complete registration from tomorrow.
Okay. Okay.
That's it. Thank you. Good evening. First UI class. Yeah, this is one UI programming. I'll show you here. what all topics are under UI and what will we know, I'll show you. But UI means here it is a user interface. This is the first demo on user interface. This is UI programming. Yes, UI programming I'm going to learn HTML 4 and 5. Second topic here it is CSS3. Third topic is on JavaScript. Here fourth one here it is on jQuery. Here fifth one here it is on Linux. Sixth one on responsive design. Then seventh will be here Bootstrap. Here eighth one will be here lesson as programming. Then ninth one will be here project. 10th one will be here. So the project and exam will continue on sessions. Total of my content will be next month. Next 2 months I am going to continue on all these topics. UI and user interface. This user interface. Here we are going to see what all topics of this and here what is the advantage of this and where we use it any time. The all you can understand this. Okay. Here you enter URL in the browser. Here so if you enter any URL here. Here if you enter any URL in browser, the URL in here, the user interface. So if you enter http://www.facebook.com. Here you are entering here facebook.com. This is one page. This is UI page. This UI page is interacting with the server page. This server will interact with database. This is what here 3D architecture. This is what completely we call as 3D architecture. Here UI means it is a user interface. Here UI means it should be a user interface. Here member any URL in the web application is UI. This UI always end with the server page. Server will connect to database. Database will connect to the server will give resultant page. This 2D architecture and the easy architecture. Model view controller architecture. So just if I search for that, see if I search for facebook.com, what application you can see here, this is what one UI. If you enter your email address and password, you click submit button, you can redirect your application form to server. You can redirect your application form to server. Server is here, PHP, Java, .NET, Python, all comes under servants. Here, the UI page also to server connected to database. So this is T and the architecture, model view controller architecture. Here, model view controller architecture, generally we will follow to design our. Here we will enter our email password. One click submit button, data will be related to server. Here email address password whatever I am entering here. These two details will connect to server program. Server, what it will do here, this server always connected to database. So whatever email address password you have entered here, this email address password has to be submitted to the database. So they check your details. Easy, your email address and password is correct or not. You check it by this web page. Here Facebook login page I'm creating here. In this, once you enter your email address password, once you submit button, your database submitted to server. That server page here, maybe Java.NET server page use. And this UI page, whenever we enter our details here, that will be submitted to here in this UI page. Facebook page or Twitter page, whatever you will see here. After our details, it has to submit to the server. See in this URL, you can understand here. UI is connecting with server programming. That server by this and URL, you can understand here. This is one PHP programming. Here our UI page is connecting here PHP programming. UI page is connecting the PHP program. In this URL, see, this is one URL. Our UI programming is connecting server programming is a PHP programming. Here, this is what UI interaction. Here, you want to so it's your create account. In this time, see here, ASP. Control C copy. Here, this is one URL. It is connecting a JSP page. Here, UI is connecting to ASP. Here, that is what Java is connecting with the device. This type of interactions we can call it as UIs. Here, UI is connecting Java connected to database. Database back Java. Java will give you result page for it. This is what MVC model view controller architecture. Generally, we follow design purpose. Okay, UI connecting to Java, Java connected to database, Java will give written page for us. This is totally MVC architecture. In this MVC architecture, UI page will interact with server will interact with this. Yeah, this is what you can see here. The UI page is interacting with the server page. This is what Java. Here that is ASP, Java server page. ASP means here is Java server page. Okay, but these two UIs you can understand. Front is common. Server programs are different to run with and database though maybe Java, maybe Python, maybe any server program you can use. UI connecting to PHP connecting to database. Here, sorry, for every URL, UI will be common. So always front end will be common to develop our application. Here, UI connecting to server connecting to database. This type of interactions you can have here in every UI programming. In this UI programming, so front end is common for every development. Front end is common. Every application, front end is common. Server pages may be different. Your database may be different. But if you want to use your server page as here in this front end, if you want to use your server programming as a PHP program or a Java programming or .NET program, so everywhere in front end, server, everywhere we are looking for framework level developer. Who know framework? They will get more politics. Frameworks are Angular, React, those are frameworks. Server side framework here. The programming are here. PHP, Java, and Python. Java framework are and PHP is Laravel framework, PHP and all. And side .NET framework we have, and Python side Python related framework. So in this architecture, the programs are different. The programming is completely with server side development. Here, server programs we can connect here. These programs are here. PHP, Java, and Python. In servers. Here, this is what MVC architecture, model data architecture. Here, model view controller. Model view controller. This one programming. Here, view model part is by server programming. Here, server programming. View part is by your programming. Controller part is also a programming. So in this MVC architecture, model view control architecture, we are following here MVC, the model view control architecture. Under this, here model server control part is server, UI is by our UI. Your programming we use it as our UI. Here we are following MVC architecture. In this model controller architecture, we are following this server. Here we are learning here model view control architecture. This time, the model part and control part here is by server programs. Model part and the control part is by server programs. Here is now content in the JavaScript text we have. That is Angular, React. If you complete along with these topics, if you complete any framework, then you can be a framework developer. You can be a framework developer. Complete all these all one framework. Here you complete a framework. With that only you will be a